Hey, John Hatcher here, and this is your Tuesday Blues. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how the flat seventh interval sounds in the context of a lick. I strongly recommend going back and checking out the lessons in Tuesday Blues where we covered how the root, the third, and the fifth functions inside of our lick. That'll help you get the real structure down for the phrases that we're going to play. But today we're going to fast forward to the flat seventh. I'm going to walk through each of the phrases and we're going to really focus on ending the licks on the flat seventh. And let me play it through and I'll pause and we'll talk about the flat seventh when we get to them. So here we go. Here's the first phrase. And this is the first instance where we're landing on the flat seventh. The flat seventh in the key of A is G. So this G note here, 5th fret, 4th string, is where we're getting to the flat seventh for the first time. And it rings out over the A, or the root note, because we're working in the key of A. So let's take a second and just listen to these two notes. You can tell there's a little bit of dissonance there. The notes kind of scrub together and there's a little bit of tension, but they don't sound terrible together. Now, what you can do is build some tension using this flat seventh if you use it wisely when you're working through your licks. Let's continue on to the next phrase and I think you'll see what I mean. So the next phrase sounds like this. And we let that third string G ring out. So we've got these two open strings pretty much ringing. And it just really brings to light the fact that these two notes are kind of in conflict with each other. Then we move into the third phrase, like this, and hit this flat seventh note, this G here on the 3rd fret, 1st string. And it's a little tougher to tell because the notes are so far apart, this root and this high G here. But you can definitely tell there's something interesting going on there. So we pop that. And then we land on this flat seventh note here on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. It's really the same note. But what I want to point out, especially when we get here, is this is the end. This is the end of this little lick sequence, and we land on this unsettling note, if you will. And this note just really pulls to the root. So a great way to end this lick sequence might be to work in the tension of the flat seventh here, here, and then a piece of it here. But then perhaps let's end and give the listener what they've been waiting for, that resolve of the root note. So, because when you're hanging out on this flat seventh, it just feels unfinished, and that can be a great thing to create interest and move that interest along as you move through your licks. But when we're ending this, what a great place to finally make it to the root. So we'll do that here. Well, that rounds out our 4-part series on how the root, 3rd, 5th, and flat 7th function in the context of a lick. Now, I hope you really go through these lessons and get inside the lick to really tune your ear toward the tonal characteristics of each of these intervals. Being able to know the message and the emotion that you want to convey and then finding it on the guitar is huge, especially if you're writing licks or if you're improvising especially. Now, I really encourage you to go back to bluesguitarinstitute.com, click sign up, become a free member, because then you can download the free tab for this lesson and really all of the Tuesday Blues lessons. And I hope you'll take me up on that, because having the tabs is such a huge practice tool when you're trying to get inside this stuff. All right, thanks, take care, and I'll see you next week.